Hi and welcome to Terry Travels and the bougie side of town, because we are currently in Chapel Street, and I'm going to walk down Chapel Street. I'm going to go through some parks, I'm going to go through the Botanical Gardens and just show you the posh side of town. So let's get started, and all the usual things. Subscribe your guts out. Okay, we're heading up to the entrance to Windsor Station, which is not my side of town at all. So we're going to be going right down past a whole bunch of bougie little restaurants and cafes and pubs. By the way, this one, the railway here, is not that. The railway is a nice working class pub, and it does really nice schnitzel. So there's the entrance down there to Windsor Station, and I'll give you a bit of a view over the petition here when we get there. So that's what it looks like. Old school, late 19th century train station. There are lots of them around. And yeah, so how is everybody today? Doing fine here. Got the other channel up and running this morning and released a video, and today is just going to be walking and through some interesting places. I was actually going to do this walk the other way, coming up from the bottom, but the trams are Christmas in July stuff, obviously. Yeah, the trams are stuck and the road's incredibly blocked by traffic. So it seemed a much better way to walk down rather than up. As you can see, lots of early 20th century architecture, retrofitted for barn me places and other bougie little things. I will show you across the road, there's this place that's done out in Showa era, Japanese style, which is really cool. It's called Tokyo Tina, and that place looks really good. In fact, there's the tram I missed. What I will do is I'll go across and show it to you. That's what I want, a Maneki Neko poker machine. You could totally use one of those. Hang on, let me just get it right. And if you look up here, there's lots of Showa era signage and advertising stuff, which is very cool. So there's that. We'll walk on this side for a while and just see what we shall see. I finished the walk to Melbourne from Werribee, and I thought, what will I do next? And the simple answer is walk on the posh side of town, which indeed this is. I'm not doing op shops this time, by the way. There are too many of them around here. They've got nothing I want. Let's have a look at what this pub has. Not too bad at all. Prices are quite reasonable, really. You could go there. It's actually afternoon too, which I should have mentioned. Not a morning walk like the previous ones I did. And that's a nice relief. It's Saturday as well, so in a couple of hours, all of these places are going to be rammed with people binge drinking and hooking up. But not right now. And yet I've still got the sun in my eyes, even though it is the afternoon. That's a bit odd. Maybe I should cross the street again. And I will in a little bit, but I want to show you something first. This place, Comics R Us, is a long-term comic shop here in Chapel Street. Actually knew some people who worked there once upon a time. Lots of cool stuff. Really groovy. I'm not going in there, but I will sneak a look through the door. Oh, lots of good stuff I'd want to buy here, but I don't have room for it. I don't have the budget for it. But so it goes from comic shops to little Vietnamese eateries. So it is quite cool along here. Stickers. I'm going to get off Chapel Street a little further down when I get to Greville Street. I'm going to wind through the back streets to get to where I want to go. Coffee. So as I said, I will cross the street. It's fairly easy to do when the traffic is heavy. You just got to time it right. I'm going to cut across to Greville Street and wiggle my way through there. So you can see all the architecture here. Some newer than others, but very expensive real estate around here. And just behind Chapel Street, in this direction, is some of the most expensive real estate in Australia. Enormous mansions worth 60, well not worth, but if you wanted to buy them it would cost you $60 million. And I ain't kidding. And there are times of day when you can walk down here and beat the tram, because as you can see the traffic is crazy. Now I'm well stocked up for this journey. I've got 3 bottles of water and I've had my lunch and I ate a banana, so doing well. And as you can see, you might not notice, but there's a lot of white people here as well. It's not as multicultural an area as many others. Here's High Street. And my watch is just asking me if I want to start a walk. And I gave it a yes. Let's see, move that up a bit. Once we get to Greville Street, I'll be cutting left. And then I won't have to worry about traffic lights. Which I'm looking forward to. Some nice buildings over there too. And around here, it's all BMWs and Teslas. For no good reason. Get a lot of kebab joints here as well, where you can get an HSP, a halal snack pack, which is what people have late at night when they've been drinking and they need some food. Let me know if you want me to do a video on an HSP, because I will do it. And I'll show you one of the culinary miracles of 21st century Australia. Hey, here's my shop, The Bearded Man, which I think is a hairdressing salon. I'm coming up to one of my favourite places on Chapel Street. In fact, probably my favourite place on Chapel Street, which is the Chapel Street Bazaar. We won't go in, but we'll go down to the doorway because it's very cool. It's basically an antique place. with a ton of groovy things. In fact, they also sell movie posters at a reasonable price down here. Not sure that isn't racist. But there's a lot of stuff here. And hopefully, if I mute things, it's because they're playing copyright music here, where I'm right and now, so I'll continue talking while I look at the Toby jokes and things like that. But it's a nice little browse down here. Looking for all sorts of things. They even have some very posh furniture. He said stumbling for no good reason. $950 for the dressing table. Not shabby. Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. Ooh, they got Castle Grayskull. Two or three of them. It's pretty good. Action Comics reprint, $250. A Don Draper figure. Lots of little Lego stuff. And Star Wars stuff. Amongst other things. What's over here? And some old cartridge games. I used to have one of those Robo Raptors. They were fun. I sold it to somebody. But the reason I sold it was fun to play with. But it took so many batteries that I just had to keep replacing the batteries in it all the time when I played with it. Yeah, batteries in the controller. Yeah, batteries in the robot. Just a really hard thing to keep up with. So here we are back on the street before we head down to Greville, which is not too far down here. Walking's easier. That walk from Werribee to Melbourne really helped my energy levels, which I'm grateful for. In fact, it's what I was gearing up for these kind of walks with. And it's working, which is very cool. As I said, all of these op shops here don't have any physical media in them. They're not very good at all with DVDs or Blu-rays. And the ones they have tend to be the really prosaic stuff like Big Bang Theory and 55 copies of Sex and the City. That kind of jazz, which is definitely not my jam. Sorry. And yeah, it is what it is. So I think, if I'm not wrong, after we get past this building, we're at Greville Street. I think this is a town hall or something. Turned into a function space. And it is Greville Street. I was right. We've got a map. We'll check out the map. Here we go. You are here. We started down there at the Astor nearly. We're going to be wiggling our way around here and over to the Botanical Gardens. So let's go down Greville Street. Public parklet, which is basically a place to sit. It is the town hall, City of Stonington, it says there. People complain a lot about this council. There's the library in there, by the way. A lot of people complaining about it because it makes really dumb decisions about things. And the locals get very pissed off with it. Yep. Prahran Town Hall.
Yes.
It's a very posh pawn shop over there. A lot of blue stone buildings here. Former police station and courthouse. It's registered with the Heritage Council. Gothic Revival Park architecture. You can see based on the steps and the building itself. Very old part of town. And this is where rich white people come to eat and look at their Instas. Greville Records is a fantastic record shop. I've been there in the past a number of times. Not going in there today, but if you're in Melbourne, this is a place to get vinyl. Fantastic stuff. We've got lots of shops over there with the stained glass above the windows. Le Petit Marché. There's a disheartening amount of Botox around here. Not on me, because I have neither the money nor the inclination to inject poison into my forehead and face. Call me old-fashioned. But some people are doing it, and you can see a little bit of it around here if you look not even too carefully. So we're coming up to a railway crossing, one of the level crossings that hasn't been upgraded because it would require moving all of these old buildings, and nobody is doing that. So down at the level crossing, I'm going to take a break and get a bit of water. We'll move on past the heart of bouginess into bougie suburbia. Ooh, there's something interesting over the road I'm going to check out, at least the outside of. Tibs and Bones. It's like they sell plastic toys. There's a shitload of My Little Pony here, and a boutique inside. So you know, this is a shrine to bronies, I suppose. So we've reached Prahran station, which is the next one down from Windsor, heading toward the city, and I will take a momentary break to have a bit of water. Okay, we've got the station hotel over here, and I'm going to cross in front of this Tesla and Volkswagen, and we'll cross from platform 2 to platform 1 of Prahran station. Made it just in time. Here you go. Old-fashioned letterbox, which is kind of cool. Let's continue. into suburbia. There you go. Sunrise Confectionery Proprietary Limited. Covered in ivy or moss or something. Expensive real estate. With hedges to protect the privacy of Freemasons and other people. And 19th century gates and fencing. That tree grabbed me. I'm sure it did. Fucking thing. Little old terrace houses that used to be student accommodation and are now owned by inherited wealth and crypto bros. I've got to stop that. I've got to stop doing that. I've got to stop the class warfare on my walks. Haha. Someone got a ticket. But they don't care because they can afford it. And I just did it again, didn't I? Let's go down Perth Street. Mostly because why not? We'll cross the road first and head down because we're kind of zigzagging our way to the park. Hey look, a little for hire shitter. And there are all these back alleys here. And the reason there are all these back alleys here is in the 19th and 20th century, that's where the night soil carts would come down and empty the toilets at the end of the backyards of their night soil. It's pretty much the only reason they exist. 19th century poo. And I'm smacking my lips again, which means I need more water. Just let me pause and get some, and then we'll continue. Okay, back on the road. It's really nice lavender here. I like lavender. And amongst all of this classic architecture, you get an occasional modern monstrosity. Like that one has just been built, which sticks out like a dick in the face of the Mona Lisa. Hey look, we even have 1970s monstrosities here. That is fugly as hell. And some old single-storey terrace places across there. That one's for lease if you have $4,000 a month. Maybe more than $4,000 a month. Street art. And another pub. There are a lot of pubs around. because there used to be working people here. And more street art. In case you couldn't guess, there's a posh wine shop here and a very large office works. I think we've hit Commercial Road. In fact, I'm fairly sure we have. Let's cross it while we can. Another swastika. We'll go down a couple of blocks and then cut down again. See, there's a couple of things like pubs and wine places here, and another pub down here, L'Hôtel Gitan, which I think means Gypsy Hotel, if my French isn't entirely rooted. And for those of you not au courant with Australian slang, rooted means the same as fucked. So when people say they're rooting for something in America, Australian people laugh all the time. We do. I'm not allowed to say gypsy anymore, by the way. The Rom people don't like it. And fair enough too. So we're cutting down here. Just beside this ivy covered wall. I'm going to pause and check my map. Change of plan, we're continuing along Commercial Road because the park I need is about a block or two down this way. So, got to do that. Hey, we're at Affleck Street, soon to be followed by Damon Street. And there's a little corner milk bar, which used to be ubiquitous in Australia, but now they're either totally destroyed or turned into little cafes and bars and little restaurants. But they used to be everywhere in my callow youth. Now we have Japanese restaurants opposite them, which is not bad. I love a good Japanese restaurant, or even a halfway bad one. And we've come to a Hungry Jack's, which is Australian for Burger King. They lied to me. They told me there was a toilet there, but there isn't. It's locked and under repair for who knows what reason. But there is a park another block away, which I know has a toilet in it. Otherwise I'm going to have to piss under a tree like a dog. We've reached Punt Road, one of the busiest inner suburban roads, pretty much all of the time. And that there is part of the Alfred Hospital. So you go from that to that. I'm chewing some chewing gum which I bought in the shop where Hungry Jack's was. So if you hear, that's me doing that. We'll get rid of it in this garbage bin up ahead as we traverse into the park. There, that's better. Going to see a lot more doggos as we head to the park. We're going to kind of cut diagonally through this. just like this. And then a few streets further, we're at the Botanical Gardens. Maybe I'll shut up and time lapse this bit under the trees. Found some plaques. There you go. During World War II, this was a camp for over 700 women who served the Corps signals. Cool. Now let's see if they have a toilet. Toilets is storage for sports equipment. By the way, if you look that way, you can see all the tall buildings along St Kilda Road. Okay, let's continue because it's this way, which is going to be a little better than the way I was going. Up this slight hill and then along a road, and we get to the Botanical Gardens. This is just Fawkner Park, by the way. Nothing special, but very big. Check out the size of these trees on the left. Bloody enormous. I haven't sat down and had a rest yet. I'm going to do that now. Okay, let's get this done. Nice thing is once we get to the Botanical Gardens, it's going to be downhill. Those trees are enormous. There looks like there's 4 or 5 of them. And they're big by Australian standards, which is kind of cool. And we've made it up to Turak Road. Let's get across. And I've got the green light just as I was drinking water. Lots of Art Deco apartment blocks along here, phasing into Victorian era ones. There's lots of locks on railings around here, so it's clear a lot of these places are Airbnb. I could actually nick an orange if I was so inclined, but I won't. Even though it doesn't look it, this is still uphill. Okay, nearly at the top of the hill. And it's downhill from there.
The night is a shadow.
Want to buy that one? If you got 40 million, you probably can. Downhill, love it. There's a youth arts centre down here, and by that they mean rich people and their children. I have to get an orange tree, I think. There are a few of them around here and they're all giving out oranges in the winter. Rycroft Hall. Does anyone remember when you used to nick plastic milk crates to put records in until they shrunk them down so you couldn't put 12-inch records on them? More street art. Posh bodega and a 7-Eleven. We've just got to go around the curve and we're at the gardens. And over here we're coming up alongside, oh, we've got a map. We are here and we go to the gate and down there. Now this track that goes all the way around is called the Tan, and only masochists run the Tan. And even though I do have a lot of qualities, masochism is not one of them. So I'm not going to do it. Unless some donut wants to donate a hell of a lot of money for me to walk the Tan. Let me know. Well, I think I see the gate here. And I do, you know. Fuck, I better not be shut. The main road gate, it says here. I wonder if the little side gate's open. It's shut at 3 p.m. Wednesday to Sunday at the moment for some kind of light thing. Looks like you and me are going to be walking part of the Tan. There's the gardens in there. but I can't get to them. I think this is the top of it up here. I think I'll have to come back and do a dedicated video for the Botanical Gardens another day. Actually walking down to the Yarra River. And then we cut right and head back to Chapel Street, where the walk will end. It's a bougie private school over there, where it costs you the price of a car to send your kid there for a year. I hate private schools. Melbourne girls' grammar. That's what I need, a big downhill. This is why the tan is such a tough walk. It's got a lot of hilly bits. Whichever way you go around it. The lightscape thing they mentioned on the signs is a bougie light show that it costs you a lot of money to get into, and you order a meal in a box and sit on your blankie and watch blinky things, something like that. As you know from the previous videos, we don't have hills like this where I live. And good too, because they're a fucking pain. There's another $25 million house over there, which is a bit fugly, but you can't buy taste. And we're almost at the end of the Botanical Gardens. Red sports car, someone's had a divorce. You can see some of those lights down there through the trees. See if I can zoom. So we get across the road and we are at the Yarra River. We'll take the Yarra Trail back towards Chapel Street, where we started, but much further down. And I am 100% taking the tram up to the Astor Theatre, where I've got to be tonight to see a movie. And over there, behind that van, is the Yarra River. Here's the sign for Lightscape behind these people with the doggo. So that's what that is. Okay. Not taking the bridge over the river, because screw that. We're taking the ramp beneath it. And there's the Yarra, with the city of Melbourne behind it. And here is a very steep ramp taking me down to the riverside. And we're going to chuck a Yui and head away behind me. You can actually follow this path all the way to the city if you're so inclined, which I'm not. Now we pause here to watch out for cyclists. Yeah, we're good. And I think we've got to go 2 bridges this way. There is the Morel Bridge, named after Andre Morel. Okay, let's get this done.
The night is a shadow, smooth and deep. The city hums low, its secrets keep. A neon flicker, a jazzy.
It says that one's a Hoddle Bridge, but it's the one that Punt Road goes across. And as you can see, it's always full of traffic. Check out the lights on the bridge. Old school. Punt Road landing. Lots of little homes for possums in there. And I don't doubt that they're in there. I can see the bridge over Chapel Street ahead, which means we're almost at the end of this walk. Okay, health update. Ankles are a little sore. Left knee's the tiniest bit sore. But everything else is archy. So we're doing okay. Graffiti. There's the Chapel Street Bridge up ahead. City of Stonington. The number of cyclists who've been on this path so far this year, just under 200,000. 531 of them today. Actually 533. It's kind of cool. See, 533 just changed. They register them here somewhere. Where's the sensor? I don't know, it must be somewhere else. Lots of bougie South Yarra apartments. And traffic noise, the bane of my vlogs. More people fishing down there on the Yarra, being disturbed by tour boats. And over there is a thing that says Our Magic Hour. I'm not sure what that is, but I will find out and put it down here somewhere. That wasn't the bridge. That is a railway bridge. The next one is further up. Okay, let's get this done. Going under the train again. Why does that always happen when I do walks under railway bridges? Okay, it is the next one up, I promise you. Up where those lights are. And that's where I'm going to end the vlog. And it's all uphill, of course, because that's how today's gone, really, hasn't it? That's Melbourne Boys High School over there. Hogwarts on the Yarra. Here you go if you want to listen to all the information. You're going to hear about Church Street Bridge. I don't want to. I want this walk over with. Even though I've done longer walks, this one with all of the hills up and down feels a lot harder and a lot more daunting than previous walks for some reason. But in spite of the difficulty and the unexpected WTFs, there's the bridge down there. And in a moment I'm going to end this vlog. Okay, proof of life in this, I know the hat's askew, but I'm doing the last few steps to the bridge and Chapel Street. So thanks a lot for coming along. Usual things like subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thanks a lot for this. I'm at the bridge finally, which is kind of cool. This one was hard, but I finished it. Everything's done and it's both hunky and dory. And thanks a lot for being a part of this. Usual things like subscribe, leave a comment. You can also support the channels by donating as a channel member on the other channel, Terry Talks Movies, or by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Terry Talks Movies. Not sure where I'm going next, but I will go somewhere. And I'll probably sweat a lot like I did on this one. But until then, give yourself a little adventure. and have a good time. See you later.